forward to the fireball class.
The fireball class,
Yeah.
what class?
The
Well, like I said, he's this guy. Now it was a ball of fire. It was energy.
the Belts Off podcast. So last week we established that karate is better than jiu-jitsu. All you
Is
gotta
what
do,
now?
karate is better than jiu-jitsu.
We established that.
You just gotta stand up.
It's easy.
Right?
Too easy.
Black belt in karate, just stand up, win a competition, no problems at all. Today we're going to react to George Dillman. Michael here has never seen this.
Well, I've seen this guy.
Have you seen this
I
guy?
recognize his face.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know his name was George Dillman until now.
All right. And so he's got a whole system about no-touch knockouts.
Okay.
And how to knock people out and using chi
Okay.
in order to do that. So let's get
So wait, before we even start,
Sure.
should we discuss, like, do you believe in chi? You were saying, is it real or is it not? Like,
Yeah.
I think chi's real. I don't know.
So let's put
I
a
don't know.
definition to it then.
Okay.
If chi is real, what is chi to you? Because chi can
right.
could be like religion.
No, good question. So chi to me is, I'm keeping it simple. Chi to me is the video that I see the guy holding paper towel in his hand until it lights on fire, right? That's the chi that I'm referring to. Like, there's something going on there with energy. There's definitely...
Do you think somebody can hold something in their hand and catch it on fire?
I do. I believe that's possible. Yeah, I think that there's points. We have points like our palms and other ones because I don't know.
This is
But
going to be
I
a
do
great
believe-
video. I
No,
thought
do
it was going to be
believe
very
in-
one-sided.
No, I actually believe in chi. I believe that the guy that they can harness it, that they can use it. I believe that the palms are where it would come out of for sure. For sure. I mean, maybe I'm leaning towards fully believing in a no-touch knockout. I don't know.
Maybe.
Let's see. Let's watch.
So for me, chi, as far in context, I don't believe you can do any of like that magic stuff, that magic looking or interpret it as magic. There's something to the body of like energies and feelings and that sort of thing, right? But I don't think you can manipulate time and space and matter with it.
Okay. So you think the energy's there, but our ability to do anything with it is...
It's not, and it may
Fair
be
enough,
a sixth sense, right? That we haven't tapped into, or some people have. Oh.
Yeah, that's what you might say. That maybe most of us haven't, but some have. Maybe this guy has.
Maybe George Dillman has actually
tapped
into
it,
this.
right? Let's see.
So here we go.
Chi, it flows throughout the body. Without it, you don't function, and it's a radio wave. Science can't find chi. It doesn't exist as far as science can tell.
Without a doubt, George Dillman is a force to be reckoned with. He's a 9th degree black belt who has taught everyone from Muhammad Ali to Bruce Lee. And he's able to drop just about anyone using applications of pressure to certain points along the body.
None of this is chi. This is all legit.
He's actually making
That's
contact
legit.
with the person.
You'll knock a guy out.
Are the easiest way to put a person down. I can put the largest person that you can find in the world, and I've done this. With that finger, I can put him on the floor. It's a guy that's a big guy, he's mad at me on the street.
But that's just the beginning. Dillman claims to have adapted this technique to where he can knock a person out without having to touch them.
So this is where it starts to get interesting.
Right. I was with him right up until that.
Yeah, because he was actually making contact with these people and hitting the chin, and
In sweet spots. There's sweet spots, pressure points, whatever. Yeah.
in order to create whiplash and that sort of thing, which just creates the knockouts. And now he's saying he can take the biggest guy and put him down with one finger using his chi.
Pressure point wise, right? Well, because he's saying when he was saying the one finger thing, he was saying with a point, and he's right. There's points there that'll buck, but now he's getting into not going to touch you at all.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
We're going to affect up on the head of the third eye.
The third eye.
Okay.
Snap, couple. Back.
So that was the third eye gouge, essentially. Gouged to the third eye.
All of these karate techniques are made
Yeah, I
possible.
don't.
So put him out. He's unconscious. They sit him up. They cross his feet, and then he comes back.
He'll get the radio frequency going between the hands, and if you get up and feel, it's actually hotter inside that ball.
Okay, pause it.
I've seen
This
them
was a
already
little
knock
bit
people-
about
Because I
what you
believe
were
that.
talking about, yeah.
I believe. Okay, I have meditated before. I have felt energy to the point where I could push against it and feel it. So, again, could I throw that at you and knock you out with it? I don't know. But I've felt that, man.
Do you think that was a mind over matter?
Because
Because
I
the
think
placebo effect can give you 30% results without actually doing anything, and it's just your brain tricking your body to function a certain way. Science doesn't know how the placebo effect actually works. They can just register that it does work.
I feel like if that was the case, that would be that I pre was looking for. Like if I told you, okay, here's my goal. I want to meditate right now and I want to feel a ball of energy.
Yeah.
And then I did, you could say, maybe a little talked yourself into it.
Yeah.
But if I, like when I did that, when I'm telling you about the time I did, I didn't plan on it.
Right.
I wasn't planning on doing that. I wasn't like, I was just going with the flow of my meditation. I felt something, and I remember specifically pushing against it and feeling like interesting. It almost feels tangible, right? So, interesting, right?
This is so fascinating.
I know.
I really thought this was going to be a one-sided video.
And again, he never tells me what we're going to talk about. So I showed up this morning, or just today, and found out.
Here we go.
Over with. He throws the chi in such a way that when he catches it, it knocks him backwards.
For Dillman, chi is like electrical circuitry that he can turn on or off with a simple, well-placed punch, or even just a tap.
We enter the chi into pressure points that both accept chi or give off chi. Just gonna barely just tap them. I use ones to give off chi, put it into ones that accept chi. We, in essence, turn their light switches down.
He
It
just
kicks
tagged
out
him in
their
his.
circuit
That
breaker
hurt.
panel in
It
the back.
hurt, but he's acting like he went unconscious. And what they do here
Pressure points can be dangerous.
is kind of funny. They have a way of getting out of the chi knockout. So it's not like a regular knockout where you just spring back, like you naturally come back to consciousness. No, in order to come back from a chi knockout, you have to cross your legs and they have to massage the back of your neck. And sometimes they whack the back of your head in order to get that chi dispersed.
And if they don't, you stay out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you die. Yeah. Here we go.
Flatline several people.
Flatline several.
Yes, you can kill people if you don't spring them back to life.
Remarkable ability to move walls
He's doing it in the kids' class.
10 feet
Flatlining kids.
Flatlining the kids' class.
auras.
So he's gonna knock the whole group back.
All them kids?
Yep. And they're not gonna see it. It's through the curtain.
I lock with their aura, and I move the
Oh, that's,
line.
that adds another
I
element.
shouldn't tell you this, but I play with people in Starbucks, and I just stood there and I moved the line.
Huh.
And they all moved, and they all looked back at me at the same time. They went like this, and I looked back too, like it was happening to me. I looked, because I didn't want them to know I did this, right?
But what really draws the audience's attention is Dillman's no-touch knockout, a karate move that could theoretically revolutionize combat as we know it,
Yeah.
except that it can take years to learn. Essentially, he claims to be able to knock anyone out without touching any part of their body by just throwing a giant chi whammy at them.
He didn't throw nothing, though.
Sometimes it's
Through the curtain, he
But
did.
did he throw a punch?
They didn't show it, but yeah, on the other end,
Oh, they should have had a better camera.
they
angle.
should have had a 2 camera.
Because that would add a cool element because the guy doesn't know he's punching. How would he know when to fall?
Yeah, and I think a lot of this becomes the power of suggestion. When you have somebody expecting something, they almost do it naturally. Have you seen the hanging the washer from the string?
And seeing which way it rotates or
Yeah.
spins or does straight. Or,
Yep,
yeah, I see
exactly.
that.
They'll tell you, okay, it's going to start swinging left and right, and then all of a sudden it starts swinging left and right or starts doing circles. And it's such a small movement that our brain subconsciously does it. Now, you might believe that you can move it left or right with just your mind, but it's just a small little thing that's happening that creates those types of movements.
I think that needs to be done from a stable, like a sort, like not you.
Sure. Yep.
Now, if you were to just stare at it and it starts to swing left, you got something going there.
Agreed, but it's always done with pinching.
I know.
Yeah.
I've seen that one too. I've seen people ask questions, yes or no questions with it.
So it's the power of suggestion, I believe, that he's getting a lot of these people in. And from what I understand, they don't teach this stuff right off the bat. It's typically long.
The flat line move?
All of these, it's the long-term students. So it's kind of, from my understanding, it's like the Scientology. Right? When they first start, they just start with like psychology and things, and they're getting you better, and they're just doing natural psychology things, and then all of a sudden you've been in it for a couple years, and now they're like, okay, and now to get to this next planet, or to become a god, or to get your black belt, now you have to do these also.
Really drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. So they start out with like good stuff, and then all of a sudden they're wanting to do this, and you have 8 years of experience, and in order to get your black belt, you need to.
It's interesting, man.
So many different moves. You can't help but start believing.
They're opening up another door in your mind.
You can't help but start believing.
I know I have chi energy. You can see it with the half moons. My chi is up now because of the filming.
I got chi.
I got chi. I got half moons, son.
That means the chi is coming out.
But is the mysterious energy called chi
You better wake that
what's
dude
giving
up.
Dillman and his followers such extraordinary
Moving
powers?
whole groups.
Or is it, as skeptics suggest, simply a form of hypnotic suggestion? It's time for a showdown.
So now they're gonna pressure test it
Weighing in at no more than 125
with somebody who does not believe.
Right, and this is the video clip I saw where it fails, right?
Okay.
He thinks he can stand up to a knockout punch of chi because it doesn't exist.
I thought they walked to an MMA school and tried it, didn't they?
There is a bunch of videos.
One of George Dillman's top associates and fellow practitioner.
Yeah, this isn't a one-off thing. This is he's got a whole, I think they call it Sistema. He's got schools and schools and schools underneath of him.
Who's he trying it on right now?
Right,
In
he's
fact,
doing
when
it
we
to
did
him.
the test on Luigi, who was not ready to believe these things.
He wasn't ready to
So maybe he
believe
was
these
just
things.
staying there, seeing what would happen.
Well, there you go. It's debunked.
It didn't work.
Dillman thinks he knows what went wrong and has come up with a very interesting explanation.
The skeptic was a totally non-believer. Plus,
That's the defense, bro.
Yep.
I don't know if I should
Watch.
say that on film, but if the guy had his tongue in the wrong position of the mouth, that can also nullify it. Yeah, you can
So if you-
nullify it. You can nullify a lot of things done to you. In fact, you can nullify it if you raise those two big toes.
Oh,
Plus, if I say I'm going to knock you out, and you raise one toe and push one toe down, can't knock you out.
okay, he's
And
silly.
then if I go to try again, you reverse it. If you keep doing this, I won't knock you out.
He's
Plus,
silly.
The skeptic was a totally non-believer. Plus, and I moved the line.
There's a lot of things.
He's reaching so hard.
Plus,
I flatlined several people. Plus,
oh, they edited.
I know I have chi energy. You can see it with
Okay,
the
so
hand.
here's the problem, right? Like what if you got a situation where you got one guy who has a little truth, right? But he's a nutcase.
Right.
So does it make the little truth not true anymore? I believe chi's a real thing.
Yeah.
I believe in chi. You know, I even go as far as to believe the video of lighting stuff on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do. I believe that's real. I believe, you know, that there's obviously different levels of being able to control it and harness it if it's real, if it's a real thing. I mean, you look at just energy that's outside our body and you know, electricity, whatever, and we've managed to harness that, solar power, we've, you know, built, like, we managed to harness energy. There's probably ways to harness the energy within us, right? That guy was full of it.
Like wireless charging and stuff. It's super interesting.
Yeah.
There's definitely energy around
There's
us.
something.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that it comes out of certain spots that, you know, yeah, I just don't think that guy made any sense, right? But
I think when they were talking about believers, right, the power of suggestion is so powerful. What you and that's how you can harness that and excel in life by doing that, is harnessing your passion or your drive into something.
Right.
And then you manifest things, but you're not really manifesting, you're just driving towards something, and that's going to eventually come through in most cases.
I mean, when you say you're not really manifesting, you mean you're not making it appear out of thin air.
Right,
But
right.
you're making it appear.
Yes. Yeah.
And you are. I mean, to me, it's like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you want a cup of coffee. It doesn't appear in front of you, but it does appear in front of you. It really does.
Yeah.
It does appear in front of you. And there's just a little buffers, right? So you put your mind to it, having a cup of coffee this morning, you do it. You have a cup of coffee, right? So I don't think that's any different with any goal. It's not instant, but it is manifested, right? Just, takes a little time. But
I'm looking forward to the Fireball class.
the Fireball class,
Yeah.
what class?
The
Well, like I said, he's this guy. Now it was a ball of fire. It was energy. I felt energy, but I think you should open your mind up to some of that stuff. That's not necessarily magic, you know. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like to call chi energy magic is like calling electricity magic.
Sure.
Right?
It's something invisible that you can't see that does something.
Exactly,
And that's what I meant by magic.
Right, right. Well, I mean, or I thought you meant illusion. When you said magic, I thought you meant it wasn't real.
No.
Like, do you believe that they're lighting the thing on fire with the paper towel? Or do you think that's a magic trick?
I think that's a magic trick.
So not real.
There's certain papers and things that are combustible at
Right. So you think there's a trick to it?
Yeah, I do, because there's at really, really low temperatures, and just your body heat can actually create the friction or the heat difference that's needed in order to catch certain things on fire.
Yeah, and I always, in those videos that I've seen of them doing that, it's always like a very believable scenario where it's like not here.
Yeah.
You know, it's in some other country.
Right.
You know, they're not speaking
Indonesia
English.
usually,
Yeah. You know, the person looks, they fit that, what I would profile as like a yogi or something, you know,
Methodical being.
enlightened.
Yep.
You know, and then they're, you know, lighting it on fire. It's like, I buy it. I do. I do believe that we have something in us. And I just think our Western way, like, we're so disconnected from all that.
Oh, I definitely think that the Western
know.
society is definitely separated. You know, we don't spend enough time in nature and just being out in the wilderness. And I think there's so much to the human being that is out in the woods, and you always come back feeling better when you do things like that, and being in the water and nature and being around large bodies of water.
Connected,
Yep. What is that though? It's invisible, you know. Again,
but it is something.
If we had a sixth sense, we might be able to feel it. If we, we have the five senses. If we only had four, maybe we wouldn't know about smell.
Right. Right.
You can't see it.
Right.
You don't know where it is and what it is.
It wouldn't even be a thing that exists. We wouldn't even know that it doesn't exist because
you don't have to register in order to sense it. So, yeah, interesting. That one was fun. We got more out of that than I thought. All right, cool. Guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.